I'm Melody.
And I'm David, and this is Value Able Talk. As I'm sure everyone vividly remembers from last week, we unfortunately ended our program on a very non-happy note.
I don't think non-happy is a word.
And Melody here is completely and utterly to blame for this terribly disjoyful episode.
Disjoyful is also not a word.
And because of Melody, and Melody alone, we had to go all week, Audience of Millions, misknowing what the difference between happiness and joy actually is. Case closed.
Glad you got that off your chest.
Did I make you feel bad?
Not really.
Man! And I worked on what I was going to say and everything. So will you tell us the difference between happiness and joy?
First, let's read some emails.
Tell me!
David, happiness depends on what is going on around you. It comes and goes. Sometimes things make you happy. Sometimes someone makes you unhappy.
I know what that feels like.
But joy is different. Joy comes from a deeper place. Joy comes from one thing and one thing only.
What is it? Do you know?
I do know. But why don't we see who else knows? Let's take this. David, do you want to say it? I know it'll make you happy.
To the streets!
Hey, can we ask you a question?
For sure.
What does joy mean to you?
Joy is something that lasts forever.
Where does joy come from?
Joy comes from the heart.
Great, thanks. Hey, can we ask you a question?
Sure.
What does joy mean?
I think joy means excitement and happiness that's continued over time.
Where does joy come from?
Joy comes from the Lord.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
We're talking about joy. What makes someone joyful?
Well, the only way to truly be joyful is to have a relationship with God. Joy comes from God.
But how does having a relationship with God give you joy?
Well, if you have a relationship with God, you know that He loves you and that He has a plan for you. In fact, this reminds me of a Bible verse. Philippians 4:4 says, "Always be joyful because you belong to the Lord." I will say it again, be joyful.
Always be joyful so that joy stays with you. It doesn't come and go like happiness.
I think you're getting it.
Okay, so I understand that being happy depends on what it's like going around you. Like if I knock you off this chair,
I would not be happy.
but if I gave you $100,
I would sure be happy.
and joy is like something that comes from inside when you know that God loves you and has a great plan for you. But I don't quite understand the part about having a relationship with God. I mean, I believe that God's real, but how do you have a relationship, a friendship with someone you can't see?
That's a great question. And a question we do not have time for today.
Are you seriously doing this again?
I am.
Audience of Millions, if you know what it means to have a relationship with God, please email us at dogpack@sugarcreek.net. Please email me soon. I need to know before the next episode of Value Able Talk.